Time for an unpleasant blind guy, conservative Byte. When those who propagandize send a message to one person, they're usually sending it to others. In this case, the recipients are the viewers of the television program The View. Though the video attached to the article that I'm going to cover, that was brought to my attention via Nicola Taylor and is by Ian Hanchett of Trump Art, dated June 14, 2016, has embedded in it a portion of the program featuring all of The View denizens. The article concentrates on one particular one of these, Joy Behar. The headline, Joy Behar, Trump basically working with ISIS to kill us, committing treasonous acts. Now this, of course, covers the Orlando nightclub shooting, where 49 Americans were killed by an Islamic terrorist. The View cacklers cover it all. If you don't agree with them, you're a racist. And Joy Behar, in particular, said the perpetrator of the attack comes from a religion that says it's absolutely an abomination to be gay. So he has a self-hatred that he might have incorporated, that he might feel he hates himself for what he is. In her words, listen, it's not uncommon. Let us not forget all of the Republican congressmen and senators, a lot of them, who have voted against gay rights, who then we find out are in the bathroom, tap, tap, tapping. Remember that guy, Larry Craig? There's a lot of that going around. Well, I think I can count incidents and instances of that on the fingers of one hand. I'm not really sure that I would call that a lot. And it has to be pointed out that none of those individuals were Muslims who went on Islam-inspired killing sprees. But the soundbite embedded in this article does cover a lot of idiocy, such as the following.
The thing about Trump, though, is that he's the recruiter-in-chief. For ISIS. He is basically working with ISIS to kill us. They are working together. Yes. Just remember what I'm saying.
And why do you say this, Joy?
Because every time you go after the Muslims and you talk about how they shouldn't come into the country and how they're all a bunch of whatevers, you are saying to ISIS, make another video to show people who are sympathetic to your cause. And don't think they haven't made many videos showing Donald Trump. He is a dangerous menace to the country.
And let's be absolutely sure we understand the message that Joy Behar put out here. Though the message was directed at Donald Trump, what the message said was, you shouldn't talk about how Islam inspires Muslims to kill people, or Muslims are going to kill people. Now guys, this is a lot like calling out a domestic abuser on their violence towards others. They don't like it and they'll turn violent. There's only one way to deal with that. Separate yourself from the abuser. And if they abuse again, hit them with the full force of the law. Appeasing abusers never has worked, and it never will. The followers of Muhammad have a plan for world domination, and they're implementing that plan right now. And no amount of pandering or other codependent behavior on the part of our society is going to sway them from doing everything they can to ensure the success of that plan.
Do you think that because he is the recruiter-in-chief, and by his words he's getting more people to go on the side of ISIS, that he could be considered treasonous? I mean, that is against the Constitution. That is against America. That's a treasonous act, in my opinion.
Now, while I know that, for the most part, to leftists, the Constitution of the United States is best suited for toilet paper, I have to point out that freedom of speech is not against the United States Constitution. One may express one's opinion in any way one wishes to. In fact, that is why the First Amendment of the United States Constitution is there in the first place. It protects people like Donald Trump, and it protects people like the harpies of The View. But this is all part of the message aimed at View consumers. The message? It's all right to control speech as long as we can come up with a good enough excuse. In this instance, blasphemy laws. Don't say anything bad about Islam. That's not covered by free speech. That's hate speech. People, the Constitution of the United States of America is there for all Americans who are prepared to defend it on behalf of their fellow Americans. It is not subject to exception or negation by privileged celebrities with lots of money, armed security, and a big voice. When people like the crones of The View start telling you how to vote, and especially how to think, run, don't walk in the opposite direction. This has been an Unpleasant Blind Guy Conservative Byte.